Alright, so this is my Sr Suntour Durolux 38 RC2 fork. I bought it directly from Sr Suntour's website for around $320, which you can do right now as well. It has a robust 38mm chassis, and it is about 340 grams heavier than a RockShox Seb. So taking a quick look at the chassis, we have some oil filling valves that can also act as pressure release valves, similar to how the RockShox Seb and the Fox 38 works. And then we have mounting for a bolt-on mudguard. And then on the bottom of the lower legs, we have mounting for a Bosch ABS system. So it has quite a thick connecting bar between the lower legs, which is almost twice as thick as the other flagship models. And you can really quite notice it when you stand above the fork, looking down, but you get used to it after a while. So it has 18 clicks of low-speed compression and 5 clicks of high-speed compression, and around 20 clicks of high-speed rebound. And the range on the compression is quite narrow, but you definitely feel a slight difference in the compression. And then in the rebound range, it's a lot better, and you definitely feel a very noticeable difference. So looking on the air side, we have a simple self-equalizing 2-chamber air spring and the ability to add volume spacers, similar to how Fox and RockShox does it. So I have around 100 riding hours on this fork, so I will have a good idea of how it feels and how it reacts to different terrains. So right from the get-go, I felt that the rebound was way too slow. The fork felt very harsh and very sluggish on fast open trails, and it felt a bit better on jumps and big impacts. But I also felt that the steering was affected, and it felt strange and almost slow, the steering. And I think it was due to the imbalance between the fork and the shock. So I can't really fault the fork for that. But still, the rebound was too slow. And I read about similar problems with the Durolux online, and I found that really no one had a fix for this. I found that Otto MTB Tech had actually he had tried to fix it by just putting lighter oil in it. So that was what I also tried. So I took the damper apart and filled it with Motorex 4-weight, the same as in all the Fox dampers. And this made the rebound a bit faster, and overall made the fork move freelier and better, and just felt everything improved with this. But the rebound was still too slow for my liking. So I took the rebound shim stack apart, and what I found was most disappointing. It only had 2 thick shims for the rebound. So what I did was I removed both of the shims and then replaced them with one of the same size but a thinner shim, and then one smaller shim on top to hopefully make the rebound faster. And as you can tell, it worked beautifully, and now the fork feels like any other flagship fork, in the rebound range especially. And another thing that bothered me was that it was sucking down into its travel, but that was easily explained due to an excess of grease in the air spring, and that was fixed by simply removing the air spring and degreasing it and then re-greasing it. So I don't really know if I got an exceptionally bad example of this fork, or if everyone else's forks felt the same way after the box. But the way it felt right when I bought it, I would call it almost borderline unrideable. But now with my improved rebound shim stack, the fork feels really active and is moving very freely through the travel, and I couldn't almost not tell it apart from Fox 38 grip. So besides the rebound being too slow, it is a really amazing fork for the price, with its robust chassis, quite nice build quality as well, for less than half of the price than other entry-level models from other brands. It's an amazing value. So it has great mid-stroke support, and that was also out of the box. And it sits very high up in its travel when going down steep descents. Compared to the RockShox Seb, when you add volume spacers to this fork, it doesn't create this wall of resistance. Instead, it makes a really nice progressive feel that still makes it all the way through the travel without feeling like you bottom out. And that's a really good thing from this fork. But so in conclusion, it is a amazing value if you can get it for around $300. And it's absolutely up there in performance if you have the knowledge and tools to just do an easy fix like I did. You could almost just remove one shim, but coming straight out of the box with this really almost unrideable rebound range, it's very disappointing to see, and it's especially disappointing as it's such an easy fix, and I don't know why they must have intentionally did it, because I emailed them and they know about the rebound being slow, but they defended it and said that it's supposed to be that way. So I don't know why they make... they could have made this fork a lot better by just changing which shims they use. But I mean, Sr Suntour is the biggest suspension brand on the planet, and they really focus on making stuff affordable. So I mean, I guess they don't really have the same product testing and focus on their building long-term customers, because they're just like a OEM spec for most bikes and haven't really got the aftermarket demand. So I'm guessing that's why they really don't care if it feels not great. But hopefully they fixed it with the new Evo version. And this fork is still amazing. I like to ride it right now when I have fixed it. But I mean, it's a great fork if you can fix it. And if you don't really like a fast rebound range, it's a very viable option for forks.